Race day here at the Mugello Autodromo Internazionale for a 3-lap sprint race between these 10 drivers. This 5.2 kilometre circuit, owned by Ferrari since 1988, is usually home to the Italian MotoGP, where 90,000 fans flock to the track. But on this occasion, the racing will be done on 4 wheels, and I think I speak for everyone when I say that I can't wait for this race to get underway. Cars are lined up. Mercedes starting off in pole, Ford second, Nissan third. And they're off. It's a really poor start by the Mercedes-Benz. The Nissan gets away really well. Ford on the outside, that Lotus using its acceleration at the beginning of the race to make up some ground. The Nissan locks up. Does it keep its position? It does. The Porsche comes across. Contact between the first 2 drivers. It's coming across the track. Did it collect anyone? The Lotus having to take to the grass. Let's see if we can see a replay of what happened in the first couple of corners. Here's the Mercedes. Just seems to have no drive as the lights go green. Everyone passing. That must be a horrible sinking feeling for the driver. But they finally get going. He's now with the Porsche. Momentarily up to third, maybe even first, but just completely overcooks it into turn 1. Completely underestimating the cold tyres. Let's see if we can get another angle of that. Here we are. Perhaps blinded slightly by the smoke of the Nissan's tyres locking up. Does actually contact with the Lotus. Here's an onboard with the Lotus now. That must be a scary sight as they come round this corner, hoping to get the right position. You can see the Ford SVT Cobra does actually move up into third. We're back with the race leader now, the Nissan 350Z, the Rockstar Energy Drink Racing Team. Up to the second set of chicanes, the Ford following closely behind, followed by the second Ford, the SVT Cobra, Monster Energy Racing, the 2 energy drinks, battling it out at the front of the pack. The Lotus making up some ground as the front 3 are fighting for the lead. Let's see a replay of that contact between the 2 Fords. The Cobra moves around the outside, Monster Energy taking the lead. Up they go up to the hill, to the long right-hander. Difficult braking as it's going uphill. And here's another Mercedes, also catching up to this front pack. The Ford goes off. That Mercedes has a lot of power. It easily overtakes the Lotus out of the straights. But can the Lotus come back on the corner? It has lots of grip and cornering speed. It's being muscled out ever so slightly, but the Lotus does take the position back. Into the S's now in the final sector of the track. The Lotus is actually having a look at the Ford, but they're back onto the straight, and the straight line speed just isn't there with the Lotus. It loses a position after nearly gaining one. The Nissan locking up again, going wide, as is the Lotus, and the second Mercedes seems to be having a go at the Lotus as they go into the straight. Surely it's going to get overtaken with the lack of straight line speed. Yes, it is. The 2 Mercedes side by side into turn 1. The GT does overtake the other Mercedes, locking up again from the Nissan by the looks of it. The Ford has gone wide. The Ford covers the inside angle. Great view here from the one silver Mercedes. The GT comes through and the other Mercedes wants to follow. There's contact. And the Ford is knocked off onto the gravel at the first chicane. Here's an onboard from the Lotus. The Lotus has to very quickly get out of the way, dodging all the incidents this race. Here is the Lotus now coming out of the second chicane, down the hill to the long right-hander, down an even steeper hill, using that advantage of grip to keep up with the more powerful cars. Here's the Nissan looking at the GT. Must have passed him a couple corners ago. I think he's looking to take that position back. He goes in quite quickly into the corner. He goes into the back of him and they're both in the gravel. What's happened to this Nissan? Let's hope it doesn't beach itself. It looks like it has. That Nissan is well and truly beached on the outside of the corner at the top of the hill. Here's a replay. Just doesn't seem to brake and completely caught out by the GT. The GT much less grip, having to brake on a corner such as that. And that's the race over for the Nissan. Following now back with the Ford, who's managed to get back onto the track and catch up to this pack after being shunted off by the silver Mercedes. The GT is off, must have sustained damage from that contact with the Nissan, and the Lotus also goes off, but doesn't seem like much damage has been caused. A little bit of locking up there by the silver Mercedes. The Ford made up 2 positions in the last 2 corners. Very impressive. Back now into the S's, sector 3. A repeat of last lap, the Lotus using its additional grip to catch up to the bulkier cars, but it seems to lose everything it gains on the straights. Slightly tidier line this time by the Lotus on the final corner. They're lining up, trying to streamline each other, but power is still a big factor in this part of the track. And you can see there the Lotus just has no straight line speed compared to the Mercedes and the Ford out front. Hopefully it will be able to make up some more time as it goes into the corners, and the Ford goes down the inside using its superior brakes, keeping a tight line, parking it on the apex there so the Mercedes cannot come back. Really excellent there. Let's see a replay of that. He brakes hard, just rides it along the apex. Bit of contact by the sounds of it on the replay, but he keeps the position nonetheless, short shifting out into the chicane so there's no wheel spin. Mercedes, he's squirreling ever so slightly. He must be very frustrated by having been overtaken. Missing the apex slightly, but making his car as wide as possible as they go back down the hill into the middle sector of the track. And there's our race leader, Monster Energy Racing in the Ford SVT Cobra. Seems to have pulled out a huge lead as the rest of the cars behind him are fighting with each other. Dominating performance. And here's the Lotus caught up back with the Mercedes. He throws it down the inside and there is contact. Is he going to continue this move up the order against the Ford? The Ford covers the inside again. The Lotus is moving left and right. A bit of wheel spin from the more powerful Ford just to try and get the drive out of the corner. The Ford covers the inside once again. The Lotus is looking around the outside. Does it go for the cutback? It does, but the Ford sees it coming. Back into the final sector. This is where the Lotus can really make up some ground before the straight. The Ford is doing everything right, doing everything in its power to keep that Ford behind. And then it just pulls away on the straights. One more corner to go now. The Mercedes GT is catching them up again. The Ford does have a look through the inside, but it just doesn't have the power to complete the move. And here's the SVT Cobra Monster Energy Racing over the line. But we're looking at second place. Who's going to take second place? I think the Ford has. But is the Lotus going to keep third? No, it isn't. The Mercedes overtakes it on the line. That was a fantastic race. And that's a huge congratulations to the Monster Energy Racing Ford SVT Cobra team. We'll be looking forward to the next race very soon. If you enjoyed this race, then you can leave a like on this video, and you can subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.